more non-millennials in the room, I noticed, than there are millennials. So if it's okay with the award winners, I want to talk to the gray-haired or less-haired folk in the back. That said, totally acknowledging that I am thinning by the minute. So, millennials are interesting, and it's interesting to hear the intros and to see, like in my life, I see a lot of these consultants that are doing these talks on millennials, but they're always this, like, you know, baby boomer that worked at McKinsey for a while, that did some research on, and they're, oh, well, their parents were divorced, so they're independent, and you know, you can let them do their own thing, and they're going to leave, so don't really worry too much about it because they're going to change jobs 5 times. And so I'm a millennial. I'm 32. I'm barely a millennial. I think I'm the tail end of it. But let me tell you a little bit about how to work with millennials. I have a team of about 110, 50% of them are under the age of 30. So I manage about 55 millennials every day. I have a team of those that are 9 that are direct reports to me. I have a one-on-one with them once a week for 30 minutes. And in that one-on-one, we don't talk about what their tasks were for that week at all. I ask them a very simple question. What makes you happy? What do you want to do with your career? And we have very transparent and candid conversations that oftentimes do not include them continuing to work for me 3 to 5 years down the road. But everything that I do every day is to coach them and help them get to whatever thing is going to be next. And oftentimes by doing that, the loyalty that I build means that I'm investing in whatever it is that they're doing next. I will make more money in the next 20 years investing in my former employees than I will ever make on my own because I am multiplying them every single day. Stop managing millennials, start coaching these people. And if you don't, they're going to leave, and I'm going to hire them, and I'm going to make them better, and then I'm going to invest in them, and I'm going to make money, and then I'm going to call you, and I'm going to say, ha, you should have listened. Stop managing, please, please. If you are having an annual review with a millennial, and you're giving them a 4% salary increase, and giving them a list of things that they could do better in the next 12 months so that next year they get a 5% annual increase, they're leaving the meeting and going on LinkedIn and sending out their resumes. Okay? Thank you. Stop managing millennials. Recognize how much value they bring to your organization, that we bring to your organization. We're not like these kids over on the side with their silly phones doing things. Every time we're on our phone, we're actually showing you how the world today exists. I sit in meetings sometimes with executives for large companies that bang their heads against the wall and go, hey, why isn't our large media buy on television working? Because no one's watching. Pay attention. In that same meeting, their millennial assistant is snapping pictures of her shoes. And you go, like, that's the world we live in. And you don't have to like it, but you have to acknowledge it and understand that we all, collective us, are leading that charge, right? And you can either help us to lead that charge and get on board, or you can watch as we sprint by you. We are living through the biggest culture change since the Industrial Revolution. In the next 10 years, you are going to see cars that drive themselves, virtual reality, augmented reality, and an entire way that the world works. Look at Uber and look at Airbnb. We don't need employers to make money anymore. We can do it on our own. That's happening now, right? We all understand that, and you have to tap into us, you have to utilize us, you have to coach us, because what you all have that we don't is work experience, life experience, know-how on execution and strategy building, and most importantly, capital. You have, and if you don't have capital, like you miss, you all have capital. We need all of those things so bad. We need you to coach us. We need you to help us. We need you to teach us everything you know about the world and life so that we can take it and apply it and just there's so much opportunity. Last thing I'll say, actually, to all of us, that there's a stigma for millennials that we're entitled and waiting for things to be handed to us. That exists because some people in our little circle are entitled and waiting for things to be handed to them. The thing that will divide us, that I know you all know, but I just want to say it so I feel like I've said it, the thing that will divide us versus the people that are waiting for the opportunity, the thing that makes it so that we will grab the opportunity and be on the field and not waiting on the bench, is work. You have to get up every morning and go to work, and you need to stay there, and if you leave at 5 because it's 5 o'clock, you're missing the point. Get there early, stay late. When you get home, check your email again. Work-life balance is a thing, but it's a balance, and it has both work and life.
I've asked all of the winners to answer one of 3 questions. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Who has been your biggest inspiration? Or love, passion, or money, what do you work for and why?
I was here earlier, but unfortunately had to go take a flight to Dallas, so these are his words. I would like to thank the Milli for this honor. My passion is helping people. Over the years, this has become a part of my DNA. Over 32 years ago, my parents migrated to America with little to no resources. Several people helped them along the way. I have been fortunate to be successful in my career and have taken a pledge to help people. For me, this is my purpose in life. Through mentoring, volunteerism, and philanthropy, I intend to do my part to impact the world. The role of a leader is to create more leaders. Thank you. Bye, Ike.
It is an honor to be here amongst so many accomplished professionals. Now, there are a lot of people who have inspired me over the years, so much so that it was hard for me to narrow it down to one specific person. So with that said, I'm going to go a little bit off the beaten path. And the person I'd like to speak about has been an inspiration, but not in the way you would think. In fact, I can't even remember their name. It was about 10 years ago when I was at a Manhattan Chamber of Commerce Young Professionals networking event. I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to take on the world, just trying to hold my own amongst the big kids. And so, I started up a conversation with a woman. And she proceeded to tell me in long form a sales pitch all about the insurance industry, and I politely smiled and nodded. And when she stopped, she looked right at me and she said, "And you?" And I was so taken aback, I said, "Huh?" And she went on to say, "What problem can you help me solve?" And at that point, I was so beet red, I wanted to run out the back door. I think I said something to the effect of, "I don't know." And she said, "I'm going to give you a word of advice." And what she said next stuck with me, even to this day. She said, "Don't show up with problems. Show up with solutions." And you know what? She was right. Every problem has a solution if we care to find it. And any person can be an inspiration, even somebody we don't know, if we take the time to listen and learn. Thank you so much, and congratulations to all of you.
Which question to answer was very difficult for me to choose, so I'm going to kind of go through all of them, but I promise I'll be within my 2 minutes. I'm a planner. I'm a compulsive organizer. And even though I'm young, I've learned that my 5 to 10 year plan is probably not what I'm going to be doing in 5 to 10 years. But that's okay. It's okay for your plan to change, and I've been wisely advised by some of my mentors that it's okay for your plan to change. And even though I do plan and I make that 5 to 10 year plan, I want to leave it open so that if an amazing or inspirational opportunity comes about, that I haven't limited myself to not accept it or not think about it. Being a planner and an organizer, it takes me a while to think through those decisions, but I've found, like I said, that generally my 5 to 10 year plan is not where I end up being. I don't have one inspiration. If I had to pick my all-time favorite or top inspiration, I would have to say it's my mother, as cliche as it sounds. I've had the pleasure and I've been lucky to be surrounded by a lot of successful and driven people, loving people, and also passionate people. And what I've learned along the way are things like I've learned to embrace life from my brother. We're polar opposites, but very, very close. I've learned to be a perfectionist from my father. I've learned nose to the grindstone, dedication, and just flat-out hard work from my husband. And I've learned that it's okay to be a total imbecile if it makes your daughter laugh. And as I mentioned, my mother is an inspiration to me. I've learned love and compassion from her. And more importantly, I've learned how to hold my own in a male-dominated industry, being a young female. And I've also been lucky to have some amazing mentors along the way that I truly honor for their time that they've put into coaching me. And I've learned from them more things than I probably realize, and every time I embark on something new, I uncover or rethink about something that someone along the way has told me that I didn't even realize I remembered. So I try now in my volunteering and work with in school systems to sort of pay it forward and give back in that way, and try and mentor students of my own. Some people can tolerate working day to day on something that they don't love. That's not me. Hence some of the reasons why I haven't stuck with my 5 to 10 year plan. I'm easily excitable and extremely passionate about my ideas and projects, and so I find love and passion in what I do, or I want to find love and passion in what I do. And I'm not going to lie, whether it be making money for myself, for the nonprofit that I work for, or for a fellow businesswoman by helping her grow her company, money is just one of the things that I do use to gauge success, but it's only one. And I just want to say that I'm extremely honored and humbled to be here. I needed help writing the speech and thinking of how I was going to describe myself, because it's often difficult to come up with those things about yourself. But I don't work for recognition, but it certainly feels good. So congratulate all the other Millies here, and thank you so much to everyone who nominated somebody and to our judges. Thank you.
Thank you, Westfair Communications, for this award. It truly is an honor. I'm going to talk about my inspiration. And my inspiration has been the growth of several inspirations, starting primarily with my parents, who are not here at the moment, as they live in Florida. And because of them and seeing their hard work as a first-generation Latino male growing up, born and raised in the city of Rochelle, this is very touching for me to share this with all of you. I've had several mentors throughout my life growing up that have guided me and molded me to where I am now. Primarily my support system now that I have, and my true supporter and my advisor at all times, is my wife, Cindy, who's back there. Gotta give a shout out to her, because she puts up with every long hours of everything that I do. So she is my inspiration every day to continue doing what I do for our future and our family and within our community. But overall, the work that I do with the youth, the adults, the young adults, and the families is true and dear in my heart and in my community. My team, the counselors and staff from the Guidance Center of Westchester that share the dedication of working with all the youth, my youth that are here, shout out to all you guys, that have also faced several obstacles and have gone out that and into post-secondary education, training, and employment. And with all that has all been my inspiration. Working hard, the dedication, and working within the community with government agencies, CBOs, and the community overall, and seeing our community flourish and grow, our youth, our families, is so important and dear. And that every day is my inspiration. So this year is for all of you, for my community, for my youth, for my team, for my staff, my family, my wife, and my boy, best friend Lou. So thank you. Appreciate it.
So I would first like to thank the Milli Awards for this incredible honor, and I'd also like to thank Lauren Levine and Melanie Gordon, who could not make it tonight, from NYU Stern for nominating me for this award. The question I chose to answer was number 3. Love, passion, and money. What do you work for and why? My answer is passion, as passion, I believe, shapes you as a person. One of my passions, which I hold very near and dear to my heart, is Camp Discovery. Camp Discovery is a free summer camp where kids with skin conditions from all over the country get to play, run around, and be kids for a week, free from any inquisitive, confused, and sometimes judgmental looks. The staff volunteer their time, usually personal vacation, to help this camp run year after year. I've had the honor and privilege of working with this camp for the past 9 years. At the end of camp, everyone is physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausted. The first night home, I usually sleep for about 12 hours. So why do I do this every year? Spending 1 week at this camp is exhausting, but it is also uplifting, rejuvenating. Your problems become insignificant when you see how these kids laugh, play, and smile under circumstances that most adults may never experience. This 1 week is quite literally the 1 week a year they look forward to, and being a part of it has become my passion. I know that I would not be who I am today without this camp and without the campers. It's the best vacation time I've ever spent, and I would not have it any other way. Thank you.
So first of all, I really want to thank my colleagues at Buzz Creators for believing in me and nominating me for this award. Thank you guys for choosing me for this award, and I wanted to congratulate all my other Milli Award winners. And I really want to thank my mom and my dad, my friends, my family, my boyfriend, and all those who, again, believed in me. So I chose to go with those who inspired me, and I really wanted to bring it home to my grandmothers, who I lost this past 2 years, my Nani and my Nona. They were the most amazing women I have ever met in my life, and I miss them every day, and this award is for them. I'm sorry I get emotional about it. And I wanted to say that my fellow Milli Award winners are also inspire me, because it takes us to change the world, and I'm really happy to see that it's not just me trying to fight for a change, and I want to say thank you to everyone.
Although my husband may think I'm more complicated than I really am, I'm a simple kind of girl. And really, in 10 years, I just want to be someone that my son is proud of. And I want to teach him to follow my greatest inspiration, Jesus. I want him to know that he left me a perfect model to follow. And I hope that he will follow that same model as well. Hopefully, then he will learn that in life, love motivates all things, and that will lead him to finding his passion, and then money will eventually follow, because we are promised many blessings. And I just have to say that I have been blessed beyond what I deserve. I've been thinking about that lately, and I really just need to thank a few people. And I first want to start with my family, especially my husband, who is absolutely amazing. And thank you so much for everything, especially my best gift ever, Nicholas Jr. I also want to thank my boss. Thank you for your support, your praise, your coaching, your guidance, and definitely that paycheck every 2 weeks. I appreciate that. And I really also wanted to acknowledge Danielle for all your hard work that you did with this event. I know how much work goes into these things, so thank you so much. But also Dee Del Bello, thank you for empowering your people and for being a visionary. I absolutely adore you. You rock. And also, I wanted to just acknowledge all of the other Milli Award winners. Congratulations. I can't wait to network with you and to rule the world.
My biggest inspiration is my former colleague and good friend, Sue Westfall, who is here tonight. Sue was a big firm litigator who took several years off from the legal profession when her kids were young. When I had been an attorney for just 2 months, she rejoined the legal profession at the small firm where I was working as the only attorney other than the managing partner. In the 2 years that we worked together, the very beginning of my career, Sue taught me so much about how to be a good attorney. I was continually inspired by her creativity, warm-heartedness, intelligence, and emphasis on being thorough, and how she brought all these attributes together to serve clients in unique ways. Even though we're both in different positions now, we continue to collaborate because we have the same philosophy on how to practice law. I always get a kick out of it when she calls me for advice because I'm usually asking myself, what would Sue do? Sue may have missed the millennial generation by about 20 years, but she inspires me as a millennial to think creatively, to be passionate, to work hard and work smart, and to always strive to do the right things and treat others respectfully, even in the midst of contentious litigation. Her two amazing children, Daniel and Jennifer, reflect this attitude in everything they do. I hope that I do the same, and I'm supported in this by my colleagues in the Labor and Employment Department at Bertram Moses in Devlin, where I now work. That department, including all of the attorneys there, headed by Floyd Dugas. Thank you to Westfair Communications and the sponsors of the Milli Award for this recognition.
My inspiration is an incident that happened earlier in my life when I was a little girl. My dad took me to his office, and I got to sit at the desk outside and answer some of the phone calls, and I was really excited. And when he was out of the meeting, I said, "Dad, I'm going to be a secretary when I grow up." And he said, "Don't you want your own?" And that's kind of stuck with me for a very long time. And especially after last week, I hope that more people empower women and help them realize that they can achieve their goals and dream as big as they want to. Thank you very much.
Now more than ever, what I do is so important and I'm so passionate about it. I'm not just a financial advisor. Financial returns are important, yes, but environmental and social returns are just as important, if not more. A presidential election happens every 4 years. Other elections happen every 2. But what I do allows you to vote every single day, and to vote every single day for the change that you want to see in the world. I'm really honored to be part of this group, and congratulations to everyone for this awesome award. Thank you to my husband. I couldn't do any of this without you. Thank you to my fabulous clients and my colleagues, and to the inspirational leadership I receive at Commonwealth Partners. True mentoring and coaching, not just managing. Thank you again, and congratulations.
Thank you to all the other award winners and everyone that made tonight possible. I chose to answer question number 2, which is, what is my inspiration? And that's an easy one to answer. It's my family. First, started with my mother, who taught me, each person in the family taught me something different. My mother really taught me grace under pressure. She's been the backbone of our family and keeps everyone together through both good times and bad. Second is my father. I think Angela Dufour made the word gritty cool in the last year or 2, but my dad is probably the grittiest person I've ever known, and I will never probably work a day as hard as he has in his life, and appreciate everything he's done for me. And lastly, my wife Annie, who's here tonight, who's taught me what it is to impact lives. She get her PhD, and she works with kids with autism and their families every single day, which is one of probably the darn most important things you can possibly do. I am a firm believer that my family's taught me, if you want to go, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I'm inspired to know that that is true, being with each one of you tonight. So thank you very much.
Thank you again to Westfair for this special recognition, and to my friends and family who came to support me tonight. My experience at Westfair has granted me the opportunity to interview many interesting people, from fashion designers to restaurateurs, philanthropists, and artists. As a writer, my passion is seeing other people's passions at work and listening to them speak about what's most important to them and why. Over the next 10 years, I hope to meet more interesting, unique, and creative souls and help spread their messages with others. Writing has always been my ultimate passion, and I've been putting pencil to pad ever since I learned how. I'm also currently working on my first book, and sometime over the next 10 years, I hope to publish it, and more importantly, inspire others to see life through a new lens. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Westfair for this honor. It means a lot. I'm going to answer where I want to be in 10 years. When I first came out of undergrad, I answered this question probably a million times in a million different interviews. And my first answer, I think, flunked. So hopefully tonight I can get it right. you know, I work in the financial services industry. My family business is in the financial services industry. And as strange as this sounds, when I think of financial services, I think of an Italian restaurant in New York City. Across the street from Grand Central, you'll find a place called Cipriani, and it's, you know, an event space and a restaurant. Some people may have been there. And when I go in there, you know, it's a beautiful building. It has 5-story ceilings, marble all over the place. It's really a gorgeous space. But what hits me most is that it used to be the Bowery Savings Bank. So when I go in there, every time I think about, well, in the 1920s, if I had gone into the bank, I would have walked up to the teller, and it's a marble, you know, teller platform, and that would have been my banking experience, and how grand and ornate it must have been. And then I think about today, where really my entire banking experience is right on this card. You know, I don't want to go speak to a bank teller. You know, sometimes I barely want to speak, go to an ATM, right? I use a credit card. So I have been fortunate enough to have the opportunity to step into a position with a very traditional sort of business, right? What is wealth management? Very traditional. And using some of the technology and tools that are available to us today that haven't been around, and with the support of my family, have been able to take our firm and distribute the advice that we hold near and dear, and that is only for the quote-unquote wealthy, to a broader range of individuals. So 10 years from now, I hope that I'm still able to push the envelope and still able to take the next step in our business and avoid becoming the quote-unquote Bowery Savings Bank of the wealth management field. So I'd like to thank congratulate the other winners of the award, thank my family who came out to support me. I hope everybody has a great evening.
First, I would like to start with thanking my parents who came out today and helped raise me for the man I am today. Thank you. Next, I would like to thank my beautiful girlfriend Megan, who's also here today, who was more concerned about me doing my 2 minutes than being mentioned today, but hi, hon. For my inspiration in government, that would be my boss and the person that nominated me. That would be David Buchwald, the Assembly member. Assemblyman Buchwald represents everything that state government and government in general should be. And it is a complete honor to work for him and work with him every day to help restore public trust here in New York. So I'm very thankful for Assemblyman Buchwald and everyone for honoring me today. Thank you very much.
Having founded 4 startups, you definitely learn that money is a short-term motivator. Quick show of hands, how many business owners are in the audience right now? So you guys are really my inspiration, right? It stems from coming to work every day and watching my team develop really awesome technology to be able to drive a more efficient and effective business so that we can grow and strengthen the backbone of our economy in America, which is the small business owner. So really you guys are my inspiration. As a quick thank you, and in honor of the award and showing your support of us, I would like to offer you to go and visit Dan Katzman, who's actually with my team over there, and we would like to set you up with a free membership in Healthcare USA. So that's appreciate it.
Congratulations, Paul. Look, I'm really impressed. I didn't know exactly what I was going to be stepping into tonight. Fantastic to not necessarily meet all of you directly, but really impressive people here. So I think as we're all saying, right, this is some of the inspiration. You know, I can extend that to my Stern family, having graduated recently enough with my master's from the school, as well as work, as well as my friends. But here, I'm going to honor my father a little. You know, he's been my real inspiration. So as a child, he always challenged me to just, you know, get into it. Go and attack what you want to do, and give it your all. And it's not necessarily something that you have to do the rest of your life, but for what you choose to do it very well, to the best of your ability. And And that advice has served me, I think, pretty solidly through life. Additionally, very understanding man. So I'm from the Midwest and traveled out east 5+ years ago, and I don't see my family all that often. I'm sure a lot of us can relate. So not too special on this front, but I respect the heck out of my family for putting up with it, for supporting me along the way, and just really, really respect my father and my family. And look, guys, honestly, really impressive stuff, so congratulations.
It's an honor to accept this Milli Award. First, I want to thank Patty Valenti for nominating me. She's always believed in me, and I'm truly grateful for her support. Because of Patty, I've been involved with the March of Dimes for the past 5 years. And as a reminder, our annual Real Estate Awards breakfast is this Thursday, so buy a ticket if you haven't already. Quick background on me. I currently oversee leasing and property management operations at Simone Development, which is a third-generation commercial real estate firm that was founded by my grandfather and father, who are both here tonight. Most people don't know this, but my grandfather and father did not start their careers in real estate. They actually began in the auto parts industry with real estate as a second business. For the majority of my life, they ran 2 companies, and I had the privilege to witness their hard work growing the real estate business from the ground up. What started with 1 industrial building in the Bronx has grown into a portfolio exceeding 5 million square feet of commercial property within the tri-state area. The example of these 2 men working tirelessly to build Simone Development has inspired a work ethic in me that I draw on every day. Whether the job is large or small, I'm driven by a passion for hard work that I have witnessed firsthand. It is an honor working shoulder to shoulder with 2 people who inspire me, along with my sister Patricia and our great team, as we continue to grow our portfolio. So thank you to Poppy and Dad for leading by example and inspiring me to carry on the family business for future generations. Before I wrap up, I would like to thank Westfair for choosing me as an award recipient, and I just want to remind you, I have a few more years of eligibility, so I'm just saying, don't be afraid to vote for me next year.
Thank you guys so much for having me tonight. I'm really honored with this award. Coming from Kids in Crisis, before I worked at Kids in Crisis, I've had an experience working in the development field in West Africa and for another local nonprofit. So one of my passions and what really inspires me is helping those in need. It really is a gratifying experience on a daily basis. It's something that just drives me despite the challenges that come my way every day. At Kids in Crisis, we are a 24-hour emergency shelter located in Coscob. We serve children all throughout Fairfield County, and it's very, very gratifying, and it's something that I'm very passionate about. So that is the answer to my question. That's basically what drives me, is helping those in need. So congratulations to all of you, and thank you so much for this award. I'm really honored.
I'm going to tell you all a true story. So when I was 7 years old, I got a prediction from an elderly woman. I was in an airport with my parents, flying to California for the holidays, and as we were going up the escalator, there was an elderly woman, around 85 years old, long, crazy gray hair, opaque, light blue eyes. She was going in the escalator, descending down right next to us. And right as we passed each other down in the escalator, she looked me straight in the eyes and she said, "You, young lady, are going to change the world someday." And then she disappeared. So who knows whether this lady was a fortune teller or if she was completely mad. Either way, since that day, I've really made it my mission to make it a self-fulfilling prophecy. I have a strong passion for making a difference in communities around the world and have made this the focus of my professional career through the Peace Corps, the Fulbright program, international development consultant work, and now with Leap for Change. The thing is, when we talk about changing the world, what are we really talking about?
To me, making a difference doesn't necessarily have to be widespread or quantifiable. When I go into classrooms to talk about human trafficking in rural areas of Moldova, Romania, India, and now in New York and Connecticut, my goal is always to inspire and educate at least one student in the room. Sure, I hope that more than one student is actually listening when I'm delivering my trainings, and I hope that they understand when I'm talking about methods that traffickers use, how they can protect themselves, and how they can be anti-trafficking leaders in their own communities. But real change does not happen quickly. It is quite slow, and it requires patience, dedication, a lot of optimism, and an ongoing commitment. I believe that life is too short to do something you're not passionate about, and I work hard to help empower young people to find ways to use their passion for social causes and social good. I'm really honored to be recognized today as a millennial under 30 changing the world. If I could somehow find that elderly woman from the airport years ago, I would thank her for igniting in me this crazy idea that a young person can actually change the world. And that is what drives my passion, to be a leadership coach for young people and continue to inspire the next generation to make a difference. I'm honored to accept this award. I want to thank Michelle Hobson, my wonderful colleague, for nominating me, and my family for supporting me here today. Thank you so much.
It is really such an honor to be here tonight and actually receiving this award. I'm very grateful to be recognized. I am recognized from the Fairfield County, which is exactly where I work and I live. So I'm very familiar with it. Everyone you come across impacts your life to some extent. For me, my biggest influence are actually my parents who are here today. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank them for everything that they've done for me. And this kind of is personal to me, but a few years ago, we actually all immigrated at the same time from Poland. We started just exactly from scratch on learning the language and kind of, learning the culture, the traditions. So, my parents were with me when I came here, and they're with me here tonight, and I'm just so thankful for them, and I'm actually going to say thank you in Polish. Dziękuję. And I also wanted to take the opportunity to congratulate all of the other millennials in the room today that are receiving the award across the various disciplines. It's really interesting to learn about everybody in the room and kind of where you're coming from and what accomplishments you've made to be where you are. So congratulations. As millennials, we are incredibly committed to taking actions to create positive changes around us. We certainly have seen that last week in the elections, as well as pretty much if you look around us, our community, you see that we are very driven, and we are taking so many steps to making the world better, a better place for us. So I think we should definitely continue to strive to shape the future that we would all like to see. And actually, I'm really, really fascinated to see that none of the millennials before me did this, but I would like to take a selfie with everybody. So if you don't mind, smile. There we go. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to start by thanking Westfair Communications and to our judges for this wonderful evening. And I also want to thank my Managing Director, Bill Winters, for nominating me for this honorable award, and also to my executive team for their continued support and guidance. This is truly a win for our team. I would like to speak a few words about my biggest inspiration in life, my father. I moved to America 5 years ago, leaving my home in Sri Lanka. I actually moved for college, and following right after graduation, I joined Tompkins Financial. It was my father who encouraged both my sister and myself to pursue our futures overseas and to reach beyond our horizons. And today I am so happy to say that my sister is a practicing surgeon in the UK, and we have both grown to be strong and independent women. If it wasn't for my father's relentless support, guidance, and motivation, I would not be the career-driven and strong young woman I am today. So this achievement today is as much his as it is mine. Thank you so much.